Welcome to Up on the Bars discussion with your host, Roy Bain.
We're live on a Thursday night for Up on the Bars discussion. Pretty excited to talk to the guest tonight. I heard about him several years ago through a mutual acquaintance, Candace Martin, who's over at Antioch Speedway and at the time was at Southern Oregon Speedway, and started talking about you guys. Something that stuck in my mind is one of your main sponsors, and we'll get into it, House of Juju. That's just a weird name that stuck and all this, and didn't know what y'all's classic cars were until we saw you down at Hanford. But joining us tonight is Dan Myrick, head of the West Coast Sport Compacts. Welcome to the show, Dan.
Hey, thanks for having me. What's going on, everybody?
Yep. So we're getting a lot of people in here already. So I wanted to have you guys on here, or have you on here tonight, to talk about the West Coast Sport Compacts. And I want to get into it. What is a West Coast Sport Compact?
So, like a lot of different classes throughout the years, you kind of go through these transitional periods where, the class of cars kind of fits in the same box or same mold, but as technology evolves and what the production line of cars is putting out changes. So, what we were called forever was mini stocks. Even like you see in the background, I got a couple banners back there, and they got our old logo. We used to be called Central Valley Mini Stocks. That's how we started, and that's the name we had. And it kind of evolved into a sport compact class. So a sport compact class, we're looking at a 4-cylinder car. Most of them are front wheel drive. There's some rear wheel drive. And, we're looking at the, late 80s and then all through the 90s, all the anything you saw on like Fast and Furious, all that whole movie trilogy, or how, I don't know, they got like 10 of them now. So those cars, trying not to use language there.
You feel free to use language.
What we would see going through the streets, drag racing, in the 90s, and now we're kind of just adopted that into calling it a sport compact, and that's our class.
Yep. So I know y'all have been racing all over and kind of turned into a traveling series. Like I said, we saw y'all race at Hanford. When we went down with the Tri-State Pro Stocks 2 years ago, y'all raced down there. I know y'all were at Vegas. So y'all are doing a lot of traveling. Where's some of the furthest you've been as far as with your race cars?
So I think Vegas is definitely the furthest we've been. We kind of, we're Central Valley oriented. That's where our core is from. So we actually started in Lemoore Raceway, a little 5th mile clay oval. It's a micro track, and we kind of started branching out. We ran Hanford, I think 2017 or 2018. We ran like one Hanford show, and then after that, it was kind of on. It was like, let's get to the big tracks. The small 5th mile is a blast, and you cut your teeth at that small track, but you have a lot of fun at the big tracks too. So we just branched out. I think the 2023 schedule, we added Stockton. That's our first race of the season this year with you guys. We're going back to Antioch. We're still down in KCRP, still running Hanford, still running Tulare. But we're in the off season. We're still talking. We're trying to expand. We're working with Skagit and trying to get a date up there for one of their big shows, and we're trying to take that name, that West Coast Sport Compact name, and bring it to the West Coast and not just be stuck in the Valley. So we're trying to grow, reach out, and get to the tracks everywhere.
So I'm going to ask this question. I'm probably going to get crucified for it, and that's fine. I'm good with that. So all of you West Coast Sport Compact people that are dropping comments in there, like Sean DePriest already mentioned Antioch, so don't shoot the messenger when I ask this question. How does your sport compact class relate to the IMCA sport compacts?
So, I tuned in last week. I watched your guys' discussion, and I was some of the answers I got with IMCA. And I don't want to take anything away from IMCA. I think they do a lot of things well, but sport compacts just isn't one of them. And the cars are still similar. You can have the same make and model car. They are just very strict on the rules, which is, I'm not saying rules are bad. If you're going to run one car, like I got, 3 Acura Integras sitting there behind me. If everybody's running that car, then you can be, have a pretty firm across the board rule book. But when you got 20 different makes and models of cars out there, it makes it a little bit different. So there's things that some cars can do that other cars can't because the way they were built at the factory. So
yeah.
Don
Cousins, I got to join in. He's already chimed it up. What's better, we'd smoke them. So there you go. I had to ask that question because I noticed. I got into this because I noticed the sport compacts are starting to pop up a little bit here and there. They're not very big up here in Southern Oregon yet. There's a handful of them. And they let them run with the regular mini stocks.
Right.
It's a great race. So I want to ask you a question about it now that I got you on here and can ask questions about sport compacts because this is something I noticed. They're front wheel drive, clearly.
Yes.
All right. They haul ass into that corner and they roll over on that right front. And the first races I went to, you started seeing a lot of right front tire problems. Have y'all found a way to keep that right front from rolling off the bead? That's my question.
Yeah, if you have your car set up right, you won't have any more problems rolling beads. Our first year at Lemoore, we go into a main event and half the main would roll beads. We didn't know what we were doing. We would go into the corner and we would turn the wheel and then the car wouldn't turn. So what do? We're like, well, it's not turning. I'll turn it some more. So, you're essentially picture a car going straight and then your tires turned all the way and you're just putting so much pressure on that right front bead that it just can't hold it. So, we're able to run pretty low pressures. I tell people a lot when I run for pressures and they don't believe me, but I can hold 25 PSI in the right front and not roll a bead, even at Vegas. So,
okay. So I had to ask that question because it was me calling races in the tower, watching them run, and just watching. I mean, they would go out, do 2 laps, roll the tire off, go change the tire, come out, run 2 more laps, run the bead off of them. Now, me having a car, I know what's causing that problem. I was just wondering, whatever. And somebody else said, I had 2 people, Andy Dirt Dog Boydston and Sean DePriest, both said, we run tubes. Well, there you go.
Tubes are fantastic. I ran tubes for a while, and I couldn't keep track of what tires had tubes and what didn't, and I just stopped putting them in. But, tubes work great. That's like a low-budget kind of bead lock. And, if you're that guy, if you're listening right now and you're rolling beads consistently, find me on Facebook. Send me a message. Talk. Let's get it figured out. Help me help you, and we'll get you a little bit more set up because I don't want to rolling beads. That's no fun for anybody.
It says Dan Cosen says we couldn't turn more than 2 inches with our big wheels, and then Sean DePriest, 22. What I run, no problem. So and I run 20 PS. They're giving it all away right here for free. So.
Yeah, the only difference is I'm the only one telling the truth.
Yeah, well, now see, it's just something, like I said, I haven't watched them a whole lot until this past year, and they just really started making an appearance, and I was watching it at Wairika, and it started happening. Now, a lot of them figured it out real quick. By the second week, they weren't having that problem, but there still was a few. I mean, and you can tell when a family runs a race chassis shop, they can figure it out real quick. And I know that when we're running our cars, we're putting so much pressure on the right fronts of the cars nowadays and putting such weird caster and camber and everything else into them. That has a lot to do with it. And just what you said is
little camber goes a long way. Moving weights around. If your car is really rolled over on that right front, then you need to look at your springs. You need to keep that weight over and share some of that weight with your left front.
Yeah, and I forgot who I was talking to recently. We were talking, I think it was Jeff Minley. We were talking about, I went and watched cars run. And it's been 9 years ago. We went to, it's the old Atomic Speedway that used to be right outside of Knoxville. And they were running your classic car. That track was so hooked up, they will haul ass down through there and deal in that corner. And the left rear tire is about 1.5 feet up in the air. It's just the opposite of a rear wheel drive car. And man, they were hauling the mail.
Yeah, those cars, a lot of those SCDRA cars are wicked fast, and we're kind of, I guess, what you'd call the West Coast version of that. We're not really quite there with what they're doing, and maybe one day we'll be there, maybe we won't, but for now we're just going to keep racing and doing what we're doing and having fun.
Well, and that track had the high, steep banks, kind of like a Bristol. It's like a bowl. I mean, I don't think you could go off that track if you tried. I mean, but man, they always fascinated me. I'm really starting to notice, and you were talking off air, you were talking about doing a little bit of asphalt racing, things like that. I got to tell you, one of the greatest classes I've enjoyed racing or watching this year at Stockton 99 is the B4 class, which is the same thing you're running. Them guys get after it every lap. There is contact every lap. Very seldom do you see wrecks, but I guarantee you there is contact every lap, one way or another, and it's phenomenal racing.
Yeah, I keep an eye on those guys. Those guys are pretty good drivers. We usually get together once a year at Madera for that Olds Dream 100 race, and an asphalt car is totally different than what we're running. But taking our cars and putting them on asphalt is just as much fun as putting them anywhere else. So we've had a blast doing that. But I think we might do something this year, out of our shop here and get a couple asphalt cars built for that and go mix it up with those guys. And we'd love to go up to Stockton and run there with them too. Yeah,
well, I know a guy there. Maybe we can make something happen. All right, so Andy, Rod Jernigan, which I think that's one of the names you mentioned earlier, says, "Are you that stupid you can't tell the difference between a tube valve stem and a tubeless valve stem? Good God, I know he's just flicking crap." So
yeah, I got the comments pulled up. I read that a little bit ago. I laughed. Is when you got an aluminum wheel with short valve stems, it gets a little bit tricky. But yeah, there's definitely a difference between a tube valve stem and a normal valve stem.
Sean DePriest says $100. I'll prove it. What he's running. Then Rod, in a hurry, you ain't time for butt bullshit. Keith Coburn says, "Hey guys from Tulare," and Dan Cozen says, "I want to try asphalt." Then Dan Myrick's a great guy. Michael Hill, who is one of the racers, got to see him at the awards banquet at Stockton, pick up his trophy there. Congratulations, Michael, there. And he says, "Yes, we do," meaning they get after it on that track. Yes, I love watching them guys. And he says, "I'll be at the Olga race this year, so hope to see you there." So,
yeah, we'll I got a couple chassis sitting out in the lot here, and we'll do some talking and maybe get one or two asphalt cars built up for that.
All right, so let me on dirt. Do y'all take your sway bar out of your cars?
So that's been like a great debate forever. Last year, towards the end of the season, I ended up, barrel rolling my car at KCRP 5.5 times. It was pretty fast, and the video wasn't really good. So a lot of people have different numbers on how many times it got rolled over, but it was quite a few. So that car, I ran sway bars front and rear, just factory bars, and I had a lot of success with that car, dirt and asphalt. And then the new car that I built, when I put it together, I realized there's no front sway bar. So I started running no front sway bar, and honestly, I can't really tell the difference. I don't know. I've been racing for a few years, and that's like the great debate on the front wheel drives is disconnecting your sway bars.
I see you laugh at Austin Sprague's biggest debate ever. So
yeah, there's two schools of thought, and honestly, the guys who say that don't run a sway bar, they're also the guys that are hiking up that left rear when they go in the corner, and to me that's kind of an indicative sign that your car's tight. So
yep.
I like a loose car, and that's I don't care if I have a sway bar or not. As long as I can get that car loose, I'm good to go.
And I think it's Sean DePriest. I think he says Staten Dirt is fun and fast. I think he might have meant Stockton. Stockton's a big track. It's got lots of wide, no walls except the front stretch. It's a great place, and that's why when we got to the promoters workshop, Tony said, "Hey, what classes of cars are we going to run, and what are your thoughts on this? Here you go. You get to figure it out." So I was like, well, shit, we always run the 4-cylinders. Let's message these guys. So I messaged Dan, and he didn't know me from Adam at the time. So it's like, hey, you want to book a date for Stockton? And then it ended up with 2. So
yeah, that was a pretty cool time. That promoters workshop, that's always a awkward time because you got 10 irons in the fire and everybody's working dates, and you can't really promise anything right off the bat because you got to check. The class has to check with their other tracks, and then the promoters got to check with everything and check with it. It's a nightmare, but
you're doing one class.
Like, let's go race.
Yeah. Well, you're doing the one class. You're one class of cars, and just what you said. With the Tri-State, I do the one class of cars. But then this year, I got a monkey wrench thrown into the plans when we got to the promoters workshop. Thanks, Tony. I appreciate it, and hopefully it worked out. But I wasn't ready for it. It's like, oh, by the way, here you go. And I got into it way, it got – I got a real big taste of it. And some of the guys that were there just for one little thing like you, they're like, I don't know how y'all do that. And I was like, man, it was infuriating. It's like banging your head against the wall.
Yeah, when we started at Lemoore, like I had mentioned, we rented the track. We ran our own shows, and so we did that for a year. The second year, we started bringing in some other classes, and trying to promote our own shows and pay out multiple purses and do all these things and pay the insurance, pay the track prep, pay everything. So definitely, we've had our feet here and there and got a taste of about everything you can get a taste for in racing, and we're having a lot more fun just going and touring and going to all the tracks and racing.
What are you at Hanford this year, and if so, what date are you on there when the Tri-States are there? I think it's April 8th.
You caught me off guard. I don't have a schedule in front of me. I'll look it up right now. So our plan was to have our schedule solid by the time we went to KCRP. That was last month, and it got rained out. So, it's really starting to feel like COVID again. It's really starting to feel like the rain is the new COVID, and we're going to have to, reschedule all these races and kind of shoot from the hip. So we do have a date in Hanford. I'll try to pull it up on my phone real quick, see how fast I am.
Well, you be lucky you got rain. It's a blowing, driving snowstorm in my house right now. They got the highway shut down out of here, so I'll take the rain over the snow, just so you know.
Yeah, we had, I don't know, it was like a snow that came out, but then on the news they didn't call it snow. It was something else, but
hail and yeah,
it sure looked like snow to me. But
where do you live at? Just out of curiosity.
So I live in Lemoore.
Okay.
Shop here. Shop's in Hanford, right near the Costco. We do a lot of our race cars here. Those are my cars behind me, and we got a chassis dyno. You can kind of see it in the ground there. Yeah. And we do a lot of dyno tuning for, street racers. A lot of guys in the Honda scene. We got drag racers running, old Novas and anything and everything. If you need to get on a dyno, we can get you out here. I got our schedule pulled up here.
Okay.
So we are at Hanford April 22nd.
Okay, yeah, we're not with you that year. I don't know what all class. We're April 8th. That's when we're there.
Okay. It was hard. You know, I don't know how many sprint car guys are watching, but Hanford's really kind of shifting what their focus is going to be, and you know, I think they want to be a sprint car track. So I don't know how many, you know, fendered cars we're going to see out there this year. I know they have a couple dates for some other classes, but there's a lot of sprint cars going on.
Yeah, well, and I'm not going to say nothing bad about it because Peter Murphy is one of the coolest dudes you'll ever get to visit with.
He's great. You know, I don't have any issues with, you know, honestly, I don't have any issues with any racetracks. We get along pretty well with all of them and have a great time.
All right, so I got two things on here, Keith, and I know what he's referring to. Wyatt's still in his prayers there, Dan. And then I'm assuming it's your significant other, Amber Joy Myrick, posted up the schedule.
Oh.
Or the link to the schedule. I'm assuming that's your significant other. But
yeah, it is. So, yeah, she told me this morning, and I totally spaced it. Yeah, she went to the webpage, WCSCRacing.com, and then just embedded the Facebook events. That's how we've been kind of keeping track of our race dates, is just creating an event for them. And then, you know, putting all the info in that event to keep track of what we're doing.
Well, I'm going to have to take a quick commercial break, then we'll come in and get into your press conference section of what you got going on tonight. So,
sounds good. I got to use the little boys' room anyways.
All right.
All right.
The Tri-State Pro Stock Series would like to welcome back title sponsors Jay and Emily Bryant. Jay and Emily own Jay's Mobile Welding and Fabrication and Speed Union TV. Jay's Mobile Welding and Fabrication is located in Sacramento, California. Whether you need sheet metal for your race car or a complex welding and fabrication project, contact Jay's Mobile Welding and Fabrication. The Tri-State Pro Stocks would like to welcome back Winning Attitude Motorsports as a sponsor for the 2023 racing season. Winning Attitude Motorsports has been a longtime sponsor of the Tri-State Pro Stock Series and is located in Paradise, California. Winning Attitude provides a variety of services, from motor diagnostics to driver coaching. Whether you're looking for a new fire suit or helmet, all the way up to getting your car set up and faster on the track, contact Lyle Hopper at Winning Attitude Motorsports.
All right, and Dan's back here.
What's happening?
Somebody says, but I call it liquid gold. I'm not sure what they're referring to. Lyle Hopper says, Tri-State is with NARC 410s and the Race Saber 305s at Hanford. Thank you, Lyle.
Nice.
And then Keith says, hi, Amber. Yep. So he's one of the board members with the Tri-State. He looked it up while we were talking. So he's got his hands free on his tablet over there, knocking it out of the park. So I have been holding a secret in. He sent me all the information, and I've been not posting it up. So, Dan, taking over and make your press release here, sir.
So we got a lot of announcements going on, and I had scheduled a bunch of Facebook posts. So actually, as I look at the time, most of them have already hit. So if you want to know ahead of time, you can go on your phone or your computer, whatever you're not using to tune into the show, and see what's up. But so we officially filled up all of our heat race sponsors. So if you come out and you're a West Coast Sport Compact member and you win a heat race, you get $100. So that's sponsored by Handle It Grips for heat race number 1, Thompson Trailers for heat race number 2, and Savannah Sprayu with Ambec Loan. Hembeck Mortgage, she's a loan officer with them. She's the wife of one of the drivers from Merced that's coming to run with us this year. So that's our kind of the first piece of the puzzle is all the sponsors for the heat races got filled up. So that's pretty cool, pretty exciting. for 2023, we have a title sponsor, and probably to not many people's surprise, like the banners behind me, House of Juju is back, and they will be the title sponsor for 2023. You asked about the name, how it caught your attention.
Yeah.
So there's nothing weird about it. The owner of the restaurant, who happens to be my aunt, her granddaughter would call her Juju, just when she was real young, and like my kids call their grandma Memes. It's just one of those names, and it kind of sucked. So they turned it into House of Juju, and they opened up a restaurant under that name. And it's just a family-owned restaurant. They specialize in tasty, unique gourmet burgers, salads, and wraps. They got they were with us as a title sponsor when we started, and we were just running Lemoore, and we've grown up quite a bit, and so have they. They got locations in Clovis, Morro Bay, Orofino, Idaho, and a location in Visalia opening up soon. So that's super exciting. Yeah, they're growing fast, and we're really excited to have them back on board for 2023.
Well, I didn't think there was anything weird with it. It's just, you always hear somebody say something like, "Oh, that's bad juju," or "That's good juju."
Yeah.
It just stuck, and I didn't know what it was. But it's clear it's a restaurant or something. House of Juju. I thought it was a nightclub, to be honest with you.
So it's funny. I was doing a Chamber of Commerce deal in Lemoore, and they actually had the meeting at the racetrack, and then a bunch of micros came out. I brought a car out, and so to all the business owners in the chamber, we were like, hey, if you want to do some laps, we opened up the track and gave them our cars to go do some laps, and there was some I saw the stickers on my car, and his wife wouldn't let him drive the car just because it said Juju on it. And I was like, all right, what you think? Try to explain it to him, but they weren't having it. But
Mark Gardner hopped in here and said, "What up, guys? What up, Mark?" And then Keith says, "Car show at House of Juju when it opens in Visalia." And I know that's why you're laughing. You're looking at the comments as they pop through here.
Yeah, if you see me glancing over to the side, I'm reading them. It's funny you mentioned that. We were with our guys we have a driver chat, and that's just kind of what we use to communicate with our drivers. And I talked to let them know. I was like, hey, we're going to do some car shows in Clovis for the farmers markets, and I was trying to find out if anybody else knew of car shows happening, in their local area. And definitely Visalia is in our reach, and we'll look forward to trying to find something out there. But yeah, a car show at the opening would be awesome.
Yeah. Oh, it's funny you mentioned that. I talk to a lot of people on here, and we talk about some things. And you're already doing some things, and one of the things that always comes up is doing car shows to promote the racing in the local area. And it sounds like you're already doing a lot of the things that people mentioned. And this is something I tell everybody. You got your whole group in here. I see them posted up comments, and you kind of told me they were, and that's very cool. Guys, I'm telling everybody that's listening in, y'all are what's going to build up racing. The drivers, the people that's in there, and one of your guys already said thank you to all the sponsors. That is huge. And we talk about stuff like that, and I'd venture a guess that when you go to House of Juju, if you go to eat there, you always say, hey, I'm live here at House of Juju, and check it out. You seem like you're one of those guys that I hadn't watched your page much, but
I don't go live too much. I make sure that I check in, and do what I can on social media just to let everybody know where I'm at. And
yeah.
But yeah, you're 100% correct though. I think a lot of people have this preconceived idea that, if they race at a track, that track's on the hook to do all the promoting. That they have a promoter, and that promoter's job is to go promote things. And in reality, we're all a promoter. We're all here because we love racing, and we're all here because we want to grow the sport. Some guys have have abilities where they can do things social media. Some guys have abilities where they can take their car places, hand out flyers. You know, we're all a little bit different. We all bring something different to the table, and you know, if you're not doing anything, then there's probably something you could do to help out a little bit.
Yeah.
But
you can laugh. I just did those commercials. I just finished up those commercials that I aired today. A year ago, if you asked me to edit a video, I'd have laughed at you. Period.
I was up till midnight last night doing the post that just hit on Facebook. I'm not a computer guy. My wife taught me how to do some stuff, and it was kind of like she showed me real fast and then handed me the computer and it's like, here you go. And then I was like trying to like type, you know, and do stuff. And you know, I've come a long way, and I still go to her all the time for help. But you know, it's a learning process, and I think if your passion is in the sport, then you're gonna learn.
Well, and speaking of your son Wyatt, he said hi, Dad.
So I can see the comments, but it doesn't show me who they are on the side there.
Yeah, I'm watching them on my phone as they post up. I'm just seeing a Facebook user. That's why I'm bringing out the names. So if you're commenting, drop your name in there so that everybody say, hey, so he knows who's commenting, because we don't always see all the names. This was going out to 6 different places right now. So as we get comments, I don't know who's saying what or doing what or what have you. So Dan Cousins asked, how you feeling? I'm assuming that's for Wyatt. So
he's doing better. He's still having some problems here and there. You know, he's still at home. He can't go to school yet. You know, they're trying to figure out a kind of a balance of medicine to control his immune system, but not kill his immune system. So he's healthy and stable. So that's an answer to prayer, and you know, its own little miracle. When I was in Vegas, he was, you know, we were getting ready to go get set up for that first race night, and he was, you know, in the hospital going septic. So it was a tough time there, but we got past it, and we're heading in the right direction. So that's all good.
Yeah, we'll get better, Wyatt. I don't know you, but get better. I'll tell you that from here. And apparently you're getting lots of love from the group as they're going through there. So there you go. So very cool. But
so a couple other things we had come on board. We picked up a hard charger award, something I'm going to sponsor through the shop. So if you don't know what a hard charger is, it's passing the most cars in the main event. So depending on your start position and your finish position, if you start pole and you spin out the first lap, then you go back and pass everybody, you're probably not going to be the hard charger. But so we're doing that through Myrick Enterprises here, and we're going to give away an hour of dyno time or $100 off dyno tuning. And then just this morning, we picked up a sponsor for the stock race on March 18th. Savannah with Ambec Ability Mortgage is going to kick in towards the purse. You can find her on her social media sites at Savannah with Ambec. She's on Facebook and Instagram. And the race flyer that got posted at 7:30 has all kinds of information on how to get a hold of her, emails, phone numbers. But she wants to help you through the home loan process. If you are in the market for a home loan, get with her and she will take you every step of the way, help you reach your goals.
Yep. So I read through there. Dave Smoot says, what up, y'all? Coming Mojave style.
Dave. What's up, Dave? he's all the way from Florida. Dave was going to come out and run with us at Vegas, and then we had the date changed twice, and he couldn't make it.
So Florida all the way to California to run a front wheel drive car. That's pretty damn cool, actually.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. He's he's a pretty well-known name back east, and I was kind of just looking forward to running with some of those guys that run SCDRA stuff, because maybe we could size up where we're at and how we stack up. And maybe we start traveling back east.
Hey, Matty, Florida's a long damn way from California. I do it in a truck off, and trust me, I'm just going to add that right.
Yeah.
That's a long drive.
Yeah.
So,
couple more quick announcements. Membership is open. You can go to the West Coast Sport Compact website, which is wcscracing.com. Sign up for membership there. Purse for Stockton. So we talked about sponsors, right?
right.
It is on the race flyer, which is now live, but we can announce it here. So we're looking at a total purse of $3,800 or $3,860. $1,000 to win, $100 to start. All kinds. There's over $1,500 worth of bonus money. If you're West Coast Sport Compact member, sign up, pay your dues, and then you're eligible for all the bonus money that's out there.
So I wasn't ignoring you. I'm fixing to pop something up for everybody to see. There's your flyer there, with all your stuff. Look at technology. We can get it in there. So there's your race flyer.
It's hopefully it's a little bit more clear on the one I posted. That one looks a little blurry. But,
it is. It's a screenshot that I took while we were doing this.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I was like, gosh dang, I stayed up till midnight for that.
So I just wanted to make sure we got it out there. We had it ready. So
yeah, and kind of like what you guys were talking about last week with the Pro Stock membership. You don't have to be a member to come race with us. You can come race with us. Check the rules. Also, same website, wcscracing.com. But yeah, if you want to come run, you don't have to pay a membership. If you want to, be eligible for an extra, $1,500 worth of bonus money in the purse, and pay your membership and come out and have some fun.
Yep. So we're going to jump through the comments real quick. Dan Cosen says, leave them cheating wheels at home. I think that was directed towards Dave Smoot. Dave Smoot, it's Bristol, baby. I was chosen.
Bristol was a invite-only deal.
Yeah. I did not know that.
Yeah, I didn't get an invite.
Did it hurt your feelings?
Nah, I've been racing for so many years now. There's not much that hurts my feelings anymore.
Yeah. So, and then your son said, you still owe me a trophy, Dad. Dan Cosen says, and I'm a witness. All right. So, Dan, I'm going to tell you, I grew up in Clovis, New Mexico. You said you come from New Mexico. I was born in Las Cruces and raised up in Clovis, New Mexico. That's where I actually originally hail from. So I feel your pain. So we're here. We're from there. I'm a Cali boy, Sean DePriest. I made it onto the flyer. Sweet. Ricky Berry, I'll be there at Stockton. Can't wait. Hope weather clears up for us. Daniel Bond wants to know, what is the dues for your membership?
$100 for the year. You can pay it online.
Dan, you need a flagman? That's from Keegan. Dave Smoot, you're going to penalize me for the late model look. And then Denko says Gallup. I know where Gallup's at. You get a lot of snow in Gallup too, buddy. So you know what I'm going through. So very cool. But yeah, $100 seems to be reasonable. I talked to your yep at the end, DQ. That's it. You're going to penalize me for the late model look. Said yep, and then DQ. So.
So yeah, once we get what we're trying to do is lock in all of our show sponsors. We have a track provided purse that we've negotiated as a class for every track we go to. It's the same purse for everywhere except for one track, and they get a special rate because there's a sponsor there that kicks in the rest. So it's still the same thing. It's just the same thing but different.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're trying to get all the show sponsors lined up for the whole season. When we get that handled, we'll have a T-shirt. All members will get a T-shirt. If you would like a shirt, find me at the racetrack. We have a bunch of shirts from last year. We'll sell them at deep discounted rates. They look like this.
Yep.
But yeah.
Oh Lord, I can't put your post up, Dave. I'm sorry. It is funny, but we're gonna skip right over that. So there you go. You caught me off guard. That doesn't happen very often, but you did. So
hey, I warned you.
You know, in the old days, I would respond, but yeah, we're gonna leave it at that. So,
yeah,
but
me and Roy were talking. I said, "Hey, man, I'm gonna try to get a bunch of people, on tuned in and making comments, but you're probably gonna have to watch the comments because they might get out of hand."
Well, there's a few things we don't get involved in, and that's one of them. So, all I can say is, Dave Smoot, come out here. We'll talk shit in private. How about that? So, I was in the Navy for many years. We just kind of keep it a little bit family friendly on here. Which, if you watched last week, not so much. But we did put out a disclaimer before we started. So there you go.
We've been pretty good, I think.
Oh yeah, been real good. So, but when you get JB on there, there's going to be some language because JB's just funny. He's fun to hang out with. So, but he's just a funny guy. He's one of the ones that when I first met him, like you said, I was upside down on the front stretch at Wairika after rolling about 4 times and landed on the roof, and he just at me like, he gives you that look like, what the hell did you do? It's like, well, did something dumb. How about that? That's what I did. But no, I'm pretty excited about getting y'all together, and y'all have a second date at Stockton too. I think it's in June, correct?
Yes, we do, and that date has been sponsored as well. So we'll have the same exact purse as we do for this race at the next one.
Yeah, and I know Tony's kind of excited about it. He's asked several questions about it. He's kind of like me. It's like, well, they're mini stocks, but they're a little faster than the normal mini stocks. That's, just kind of left it at that. I was like, I don't know what else.
Faster is kind of relative. We run with some of those, the older mini stock, the true rear wheel drive type, Pintos and guys. And it's not that one's faster and one's slower. It's, when you get on the racetrack, one's faster at one point in the track and the other one's faster at a different point. So you start mixing the two together and it gets a little bit dicey if everybody stopped minding their P's and Q's.
Yeah, Wyatt says he likes all the juju signs, but I gotta tell you, there's the mini stock class. I've always liked them, and you still see a few pop up here and there. The best ones to watch on the track in the mini stocks, nothing personal towards any of you other guys, don't take it personal, is the Pinto wagons. They're just cool. It's kind of a joke. They're fast as hell, and they just look out of place. But they're always fast, every one of them. So somebody said Ricky Berry, my truck. So I don't know. Do y'all have any trucks that race with you guys?
Yeah, Rick Berry's come out and run a few times at Merced. I think we had one points race at Merced last year, but when we try to schedule one a month, one points race a month. When we try to space, if we got to have 2, we try to space it out. And then if we want to go race somewhere in between those points races, we'll go race. So I hit up Merced a couple times last year, and yes, they had a couple trucks out there, and a couple Pintos and old Toyota rear-wheel drives, and it's fun. Just get your helmet on and go race. It doesn't matter what you got. Just
They put S-slingers in those Pintos. Yes, sir, they sure do. 100%.
Yes,
So, Ricky Berry, were you at Antioch towards the end of the year in your pickup by chance? There was some pickup showed at Antioch at one of the last races, and kind of cool. And I sit up there and stream and do a little bit of announcing and all that stuff. But the names, I can't remember them at the end of the night. People always ask you, well, what about the race? You were filming it. It's like, dude, I watched it through a little bitty screen. I don't know what happened out over the whole track. I can't remember. So.
Yeah, he said he was there.
Yeah. Yes, sir. All right. Well, I got to see you race in this year, so I like watching the pickups over there. So that was kind of cool seeing them out there again. So there you go. That's what I thought. When he started saying pickups, I was like, okay, there you go. He says he couldn't get it to hook up good, kept pushing it up. That's a pickup for you. So where do you see the West Coast Sport Compacts going to over the next couple of years?
We've kind of had a slow growth. It's taken us how many years now to get up to Stockton? I think we're going to continue doing what we're doing, continuing to try to grow within ourselves and build the class up, internally, externally, however we can do it. And, we'd like to go further north. We'd like to go further east and, be realistic about what we can get to and what we can't. And, if we start getting the car count, because that's kind of key, right? In any promoter, any racetrack's going to tell you, get them the car count. And you got to get the car count before you can do anything else. So we're going to keep growing, keep trying to build up what we have and bring good competitive racing to the track, bring full car counts, and then start shopping around to tracks further away and trying to set up some big shows. We got a big 2-day show in November at Mojave Valley this year. So yeah. We're getting out of state for a points race. We went out of state for Vegas, but that's kind of more like an exhibition thing. It's not for points. So big 2-day show out there. We're working on some big sponsorships with some of the Laughlin area. That whole big scene out there. It's kind of like a mini Vegas, and it's kind of like the mini price tag of Vegas, because Vegas, everything's super expensive, and Laughlin it's not so much. You can get a hotel room for like under $30.
Now, see, my wife would skin you if you heard that, because she'll go to Vegas over any other thing that we do. If you got a race there, she would go there. She's not going to the race, but she'll go to Vegas.
Yeah. So we're going to continue growing, and we had some guys from tracks in Nevada that were hitting us up out towards Fallon, and those are all places that we consider going to run. Just time and money and scheduling and getting everything set up. So
yeah, your guys are blowing me up with the comments on there. So Mojave Valley is a blast. Made the trip down there in a dwarf car. Never been to Mojave Valley, but I was going to say there's a couple of tracks next year up north that you might want to take a look at. I know the promoter from Southern Oregon. It's going out on their page, so maybe we can find something at Southern Oregon Speedway in Medford. Yeah,
we had last year at Vegas. Well, a couple months ago at Vegas, and then the year prior. We had a lot of Oregon guys and a lot of Washington guys that came out to Vegas. So the cars are there. We just gotta, we gotta get those guys to put the bug in the ear. They're local tracks, and we'll see what we can work out.
Yeah, because they're working on a sport compact class up here, but it's with the other side, so we're not going to mention them. Yeah, but it's for the other side.
Hey, and we'll run with the other side. That's fine. We could call it a Civil War series. We'll run with anybody. We don't care. I'll go run with stock cars or sport mods. I don't care. I just want to race.
See, that's it. Everybody just want to race. So, yeah. But hey, we got to pay some more bills here real quick with another one. I got to run the commercial for this gentleman, because Tri-State Pro Stock guys, if you're listening, 20 plus cars, 300 to start, courtesy of this man right here. Nice. So thank you.
Nice.
Tired of calling multiple companies to complete your low voltage projects? Minimize the hassle by calling Workman Communications, your locally owned one-stop shop for all low voltage needs. We tackle everything from commercial and residential data, telephone cabling to access control installation, CCTV, alarms, and audio-video solutions. With no job too big or too small, we'll ensure your project will be completed to your standards with precision quality results. Let's start a new project together.
Welcome, Dr. Robert Wayne Baker of VIP Medical Concierge. VIP Medical Concierge is continuing to support the Tri-State Pro Stock Series and the racing community. VIP Medical Concierge provides a variety of track services, including non-emergency mobile medical services, IV nutrition therapy, treatment of general medical and non-emergency conditions. Robert also provides health, wellness, and weight loss programs. Check out VIP Medical Concierge on Facebook, Instagram, or at his mobile clinic at a racetrack near you.
He's a cool dude that's done a lot for us, and he's also going to be, I believe, the title sponsor for Jerry Flippo in the modifieds this year. So, that's why we got his car in there. He picked up a win the first year at Bristol, so that was kind of cool.
Very cool. That's a bucket list track there.
Yep. So I was going to ask you about, have you got to go out there and watch that? Do you want to go out there and run it? Because I got to tell you,
I watch everything.
Yeah.
There's a good race somewhere. I'm watching it. It looks like a ton of fun. I just got to get the time and resources and get out there and go do it.
Yep. So I got to tell you, when they first put the dirt down and they were starting putting the sport compacts on the track, those cars were hauling the mail at Bristol now. I mean, when they're running faster than a sport mod, hey, props to you guys. That was freaking awesome.
Yeah, those, I mean, like I said earlier, most of those are SCDRA cars, and those guys are just kind of on a different level. They are kind of setting the standard for the rest of us to catch, but we're slowly growing and trying to up our game and learn what we can learn and build what we can build and go have fun on the track too. So I think, I don't think we're too far behind. I don't think we're there yet. But we're getting there. So it'd be fun maybe to put something together. Maybe we could meet in the middle of the US and do a big show and East versus West or whatever. I'm down to build whatever we want to make a cool show. So
I've got the plan. I got the plan for you right here. Mention it. East versus West at the Dome in St. Louis on a little bitty tiny track.
Ooh. So I love my little bitty tiny tracks. But man, I feel like if 100 cars showed up, 5 of them would finish. I think it would be a demolition derby. I don't know if there'd be much racing.
So there you got big track, please. And then somebody mentioned Boone, says no, that's a cornfield. Says, and then Smoot right there. I'm down. There you go.
Yeah, he's down
Ricky. Yeah. So then you got Paul Clayton or Ricky Berry said he'd take his truck to that one.
Heck yeah.
So I just got to tell you, Ricky, and I'm just going to say this. You'll be the one coming out in your pickup saying you can't park there. So I'm just going to say, I think that truck would roll in that little bitty thing right there. I think a little extra top heavy weight there might not go very well. I think you froze up, Dan.
No, I'm here.
Okay. So what are you thinking about the truck on that? So, he's reading the comments too. I'm trying to keep up with him. That stirred up the hornet's nest there too.
Yeah. Trying to figure out who they are still.
All right. Austin Sprague's the one that said big track. Then it says Dave Smoot, I'm down. Paul Clayton, no, that's a cornfield. Ricky Berry said he'd take his truck. And then Den Cozen says we're down too.
Yeah.
And then Dan says invite those IMCA girls too.
Who?
The IMCA girls.
Oh. I'm sure.
Well,
I'm sure they have a class full of great drivers, and I'd love to race with them.
Yeah, well, and Blake Perry drove one down there. That's one of the guys that I was talking about, and he did really well. But he's moving up to a sport mod this year, so He's another young guy coming up. Dave Smoot, here you go. East versus West, Eldora style. They'll go for it with a little persuading.
Yeah, that'd be great. Let's do it. Set it up, Dave. Let's do it.
Been to Eldora, great facility to go look at. So I appreciate your time tonight. Is there anybody you got to talk about as far as your personal sponsors? You've got the ones for the series out, personal sponsors. Then I want to get into one last question with you with what you guys do.
So, I'm one of those guys that that turns most of my personal sponsors into the class sponsors. So we covered a lot of them already. I got Bad Guys Garage and Rocket Motorsports helping me out in the power department with getting together with shaping heads and getting cams just how we want them to make power where we want. So thank you to those guys. Papa's Place, thank you guys. They're in Clovis. Laura Goldsmith Realty, been with me for a couple years. And I don't know, there's probably more. Thank you to my wife for putting up with it has only gotten worse every year about the amount of time that I put into it. And she sticks with me and I think she's starting to like it. So she didn't grow up racing. I did. And so it's been a new world for her. And but yeah, if I missed you, thank you guys all. House Juju for stepping in for the class. That's huge. Thank you to Savannah with Ambec. Look her up. Get you a loan.
Yeah.
And for sponsors, got a couple more spots to fill for a couple shows. So if you're out there and you're interested in sponsoring, send me a message and we'll chat about what it's about and where the money goes to. Because most of it needs to go to the drivers, and that's what we do. So.
Yep. So if you're watching the show tonight, reach down in the bottom left of your little comment section and hit the share button and share it to your personal page too. Let's keep building up our little show here because we try to bring a variety of everybody on here. We're not selective about whoever. So we want to build up racing, and it works with the local. So
she does my Rocket Motorsports.
There you go, Sean. Rocket Motorworks. Wyatt Myrick says you need to be sponsored by Integra.
Well, okay. Thanks, bud.
Then Dan, what a great job from Keith Coburn, Austin Sprague. She can do a home loan in any state too. So awesome. There you go. Yeah. Bad Guys out of Arizona. So then that's in response to your cam guys. Like I said, I want to thank you for giving up the time to talk about everything on here tonight. And man, we're looking forward to running some races with you this summer. I know that for a fact. And we may have other races with you. I just know that we're at Stockton with you. If you're racing in Antioch, we may be on some same weekends with you. So very cool. And when we get the track back to meet in person and do all that stuff, this year there's a lot of buzz around this season. I don't know if you've noticed it. There's a lot of excitement building for this year from everywhere.
Yeah, it seems like, because we've been getting all this weather that, everyone's starting to itch even more and more. And, sitting at home, it's raining, you can't really do anything. So if you got that itch to come race, let's do it. I don't care what car you got. Let's, find you a track, go race. And if you want to come race with us, great. If you don't, go race somewhere else. But you got plenty of time right now, so get your cars ready. I know half of you are sitting there looking at your broke cars, and it's raining outside. You can't do nothing. Go fix your cars. Show up ready to go. Let's go race. Let's put on a show.
Yeah, well, Sean, you've asked a good question. How's Stockton looking? All I can tell you is Google Stockton weather for the next 10 days, and we'll leave it at that. And Tony will not wait till the end of the week to let it know. If it's bad, you will know early in the week, so you will know in plenty in advance. Tony is not the guy that waits till the last minute. I'm going to tell you that right now. So you will know. But just take a look at Merced canceled their awards banquet this weekend. That just came out. Go to Merced Speedway. They have the new date out. Joe Peterson posted it up. Antioch canceled their play day for this weekend, and they're looking at canceling that. Madera, I believe, is canceled for the next 2 weekends. you can figure out the rest from there. So we're not going to say, I'm not speaking for the track. I'm just telling you, check the weather. And you would check my page, check this page, check Stockton Dirt Track. You'll know as soon as the announcement comes out. So, all right, guys, we'll appreciate it. We're right on the hour, and we'll end it. And Dan, if you'll hang tight, we'll talk for just a minute when we get off here. So, thank you guys. Thank you guys. Have a great night, and we'll see you down the road.